Hello everybody and welcome back to Screen Stars. I'm here to review the 2015 horror movie The Mind's Eye. A movie that, again, it's one of those movies that I've been wanting to watch for a while now. And what I've decided to do, because there's not an awful lot of interesting movies coming out, certainly on video on demand, don't seem to be a lot grabbing my interest. And cinema releases as well, there doesn't seem to be an awful lot. I thought I would go through last night and catch up and have a look at all the movies over the last 2 or 3 years that I've wanted to watch, never got round to watching, and I made a little list and this was on the list, so I thought I'll watch this one first, and that's what I've done. Now, I remember seeing the trailer for this at the time it was close to release, and I thought the trailer looked fantastic. It looked really interesting, and it's got a soundtrack very similar to It Follows. It's got a very synthy soundtrack. And you kind of know what you're going to get with this movie. When it starts, it says, there's a notification when it starts, this movie needs to be watched with the sound on loud or something like that. And it does. It's a very noisy film, this. It's a very soundtrack heavy film. And this film essentially is almost like a Scanner sequel in a lot of ways. And some of the promotional stuff I've seen for this is saying it's like the Scanner sequel that you never got, and it's about two young people who've got these incredible psychokinetic powers of the mind, basically, and they kind of get tricked into going to this institute by a professor, let me forget his name right, Professor Slovak, who claims he can help them, but actually he's herding all these people with special abilities to take advantage of their powers for his own use. He wants to transfer their powers to him to make himself like this ultimate being. And they eventually get out, this young couple, this boy and this girl, Zack and Rachel. They get out, they go on the run, and this pantomime villain, Dr. Slovak, pursues them, and they've got to use their wits and their special abilities to try and stay away, and ultimately they decide the only way they're ever going to get away is by facing off against this guy, against Dr. Slovak. But by this point he may or may not be far more powerful than they are in regards to their powers. And that's the story that you get here with this movie. Now, the question to ask really when you're watching this movie, is this a good movie? In a lot of ways you'd have to say no, but I ain't gonna lie, I had a bloody good time watching this film. It's cheesy as hell, it's gory, it's over the top gore, over the top violence at times, predictable, but very shouty, but fun. I've got to tell, I had a lot of fun watching this movie, and for a fairly low budget horror movie, I think they've used every penny they had and put it into this movie. And you can still tell at times that it's cheaply made, but they've tried the very, very best here with the budget they've got to really make as high quality a horror movie that they could. I don't have any complaints about any of the acting on display here. Yes, it's a bit over the top, it's very pantomime at times, especially the Dr. Slovak character. He really does belong in a pantomime, twirling his moustache. He's very, very over the top. And it's unoriginal in a sense of that. It's kind of what you've seen before. If you like that kind of Scanners type horror movie, you're going to love this, definitely. The guy that played the lead role, Zack, Graham Skipper, he had a weird look about him. He looked like a cross between Aaron Paul from Breaking Bad and Daniel Radcliffe. He had a very unique look about him. This film is chocked full of really moronic, stupid decisions that you really will be face-palming when you see them. I mean, they literally get out, go on the run from this lunatic doctor, and the first place they go is his dad's. And they even mention it in the film, it's not really a good idea coming here. It's like, yeah, you're right, it's not, is it? And lo and behold, even though they've made that decision that it was a bad idea, they stay. I mean, it really is full of really stupid decisions littered throughout this movie, and they don't hide that. But the fun factor of this film completely makes up for it. You do forgive an awful lot of the plot holes and stupid decisions that go on. It did make me laugh a couple of times in this movie because the faces they were pulling when they're using the powers, you know what I mean? I bet they went through an awful lot of headache tablets making this movie. It's almost like they're all, you can imagine the actors standing in front of a mirror and like doing their best constipated face, like, you know, you get that all the way through this movie, the constipated face, I called it when I watched it. It was funny, it really was, and my God, I'm surprised they didn't have an aneurysm, some of these actors in this movie. So it was quite amusing, the faces they were pulling quite a lot in this movie. But I reiterate again, guys, I had an enormous amount of fun. It has a lot of flaws, this movie. Like I say, plot holes you can drive a truck through, moronic, stupid decisions, and I mean, constantly they keep doing it. But yeah, low budget, lots of fun, lots of gore, lots of violence, and I can't really give this film too much of a hard time. I saw the score on this at IMDb and it's something like 4 out of 10, something like that. I thought that was really harsh, to be honest. It deserved a much better score than this. It's directed by Joe Begos, that directed Almost Human. I think that was it. What it was called. I've not seen that, but I might seek it out and watch that after this, because I was suitably impressed with this film. So from my perspective, guys, I'm going to give this a 6.5 out of 10. I don't think, with any fairness, I could go any higher than that. I could argue, Paul, someone could argue maybe a 7 out of 10 with me, but there are elements that just drag the quality of this movie down, but the fun factor will lift it back up again. And if you like really fairly gory and violent horror movies of this ilk, then I think there's a lot here for you to enjoy. So from my perspective, guys, it's a 6.5 out of 10. I did have a lot of fun with this. I'm glad I saw it, and I've been wanting to watch it since it was released. So look for more of these movies in the next few weeks, because I'm on holiday for a couple of weeks after this weekend. So I'm going to try and catch up with a lot of these movies that I haven't seen over the last couple of years and get reviews up for you. So thank you very much for watching.